Alright, Whiskey Tribe, today we're talking about the top 10 most popular whiskeys in the world. Most popular whiskeys according to sales, like what are people actually buying on planet freaking Earth? We realized there's a country that has so many more people than the Western countries.
And consumes, per capita,
so much whiskey.
More whiskey than any other country.
So we're gonna go through the list. We're gonna go through the top 10 most popular whiskeys according to what's actually being bought. But because we can't really get our hands on Indian whiskeys here.
Yeah.
We also are going to, right alongside that, do a snapshot of what are the most recent whiskeys that the Whiskey Tribe has bought. What did you actually put your dollars into? And it's a snapshot, a moment, but spread across a big number of people. Then we're gonna
evens out a bit.
We're gonna get an idea of, okay, what's actually being bought inside of a whiskey community. All right, so what's number 10, Lord? What we
Okay, number 10 was, ironically, Highland Park 12.
Okay.
Because they keep making tribe whiskey.
Highland Park, this is a lovely whiskey. This is a Scotch.
This is a classic 12. Now, they've renamed it the Viking Honor.
Yes.
But it's still 12-year-old whiskey.
This is first impressions. I'll link to the actual reviews on our other channel, our whiskey review channel, in the description below if you want to see this stuff.
Highland Park is up in Orkney Islands, and it's I think, it's such an easy drinking, really rounded, beautiful Scotch where you get all of the sweet, nice friendliness of malt, but then you get a little bit of the pepper and ash from smoked whiskey.
Now that was a snapshot of the tribe's purchases. The actual number 10 most popular whiskey in the world, amongst everybody, Old Tavern. There you go.
Made in India.
Old Tavern. I've never had it, never heard of it, so. Moving on.
Me either.
Number 9 in the tribe. Wild Turkey 101. I actually agree with this. And people that aren't necessarily deep into whiskey, they're just kind of curious. There's this perception that Wild Turkey isn't really that brilliant or amazing. As a matter of fact.
No, I think it's great. Now remember, this is just super classic bourbon.
It's a very respectable proof. And you get this iconic, rich, traditional bourbon-y flavors right down the middle of the road. If you like bourbon, it's gonna be right here.
All the brown sugar, all the molasses.
And you can find it for a very nice price point most of the time.
Or not molasses, brown sugar and like a cut hay. Like the rye notes are strong on this nose.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of peanut, and then that barrel is in there too, that oak.
Yeah, and the flavor, it's very much kind of a nutty.
I'm getting
bourbon.
I'm getting that cherry, that classic cherry taste.
I mean, you really can't go wrong with that one. That's a wise choice, Trev.
So number 9 on the most popular in the world. This is Jim Beam. We have Jim Beam, obviously. We're just gonna do the tribe list.
I like this next one though.
And they reported this is the Lagavulin 16. Lagavulin 16, also in our other video, top 5 most smoky Islas, that came in at number 1. I'll link it up here.
Now Lagavulin 16, I think is a little bit more accessible Isla.
Accessible in terms of distribution or accessible in terms of flavor?
I think both. Okay. It's definitely accessible because in most bars that have a decent Scotch list, if they have a fancy one, it's going to be Lagavulin 16 or Macallan. And I also think that as far as smoky Islas go, it is smoky, but it's nuanced and a little more subtle.
It's not the most aggressive. Once you start acclimating and getting used to
Once you get used to it,
you find a lot more nuance and subtlety in there.
All right, and what is it in the world?
On the world, Haywards Fine.
Haywards Fine.
You know, I always assumed that like I'm right in the middle. I'm in the thick of it in terms of whiskey happenings.
No,
it's like no, I'm on the little fringes here.
Yeah, you're definitely in the Western list of what's happening in whiskey.
Right.
Yeah, here, drink that water, rinse that glass, because
on the tribe's list, what did you actually buy, you magnificent bastards? Evan Williams bottled and bond.
And I'm interested in how this compares to Wild Turkey because I don't remember doing a direct comparison.
This is a budget offering.
It is a budget offering.
Okay, kind of thin.
It's thinner than the Wild Turkey. It's almost the same proof. Oh, it's sweeter, but with a little bit more barrel bitter at the end.
Yes, more sugary sweetness and a more of a barrel oaky tannic finish.
Yeah, at the same time.
Yeah,
compared to the Wild Turkey,
like a thin thread of honey right through there. Now, next up in the world, original choice.
Yeah,
in the tribe, most recent purchase, Monkey Shoulder. We're partial to the Monkey Shoulder in the tribe. So,
dude, we should get stock options. Like, I wonder if they even realize what's happening.
Monkey Shoulder and Redbreast
Yeah.
Oh, and Ardbeg.
And Ardbeg.
Yeah, between those three, the community represents millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of purchases.
Insane. And I wish I knew somebody who worked at Monkey Shoulder, for that matter.
Monkey Shoulder, this was voted up in one of our earlier videos.
Yeah.
As the #1 best whiskey for beginners.
I got kind of apple juice notes in this one right now. It's
like
weird.
Like an apple juicy floral type of vibe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Man,
coming on the backs of all the other things that we've been drinking.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I think it's fine.
It's lovely beginner whiskey. That's lovely. And even if you want to camp out there, that's fine. So, what do you think it is? It's not an Indian whiskey.
It's not an Indian whiskey?
Yeah, what do you think it is the next most popular?
So there was one distillery,
in the world.
Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels. Interesting thing about Jack Daniels. This is a Tennessee whiskey.
That's right.
Tennessee whiskey. Now, when people think
it a bourbon? Is it a Tennessee whiskey?
When people think American whiskey, they're usually thinking Kentucky bourbon. That's the big category.
And
here.
Jim Beam meets that criteria.
Yeah, Jim Beam meets that criteria, but this is higher on the list.
This?
And it's a Tennessee whiskey. By the way, where are we getting these numbers for the world sales?
Felipe Schreberg with Forbes created this list in
job,
the end of
Felipe.
2018. All right, we're about to have to waste another glass because ours.
Laphroaig 10.
Laphroaig, what number is that?
5 here.
Wow.
Coming in at number 5.
That's pretty high. We got some hefty drinkers.
Oh no, the peat heads.
Oh yeah.
Have strong representation.
Yeah,
in
they
the
do.
Whiskey tribe. All right, there we go. More medicinal, more iodine than that Lagavulin 16 Isla.
Oh yeah, that'll do.
Oh, then there's that burnt brisket.
Yeah.
Right in there. Ooh, the burnt ends.
It's just
the meaty smoke.
You know what I keep finding when I travel or when we go out to eat, my wife and I?
Yeah.
Is that you can almost be guaranteed that every bar with a decent selection has Laphroaig 10, and that if they do, it's really affordable. At a bar, if you just want a good scotch, Laphroaig 10 is often one of the cheaper options of all the whiskey lists in the world. There's one distillery that showed up on every top 10 list, no matter where it was in the world.
Okay.
Johnnie Walker.
Johnnie Walker. So on ours, we got coming in at rocking the number 4 here with the Whiskey Tribe's most recent purchases. What are you spending dollars on? It's the Eagle Rare.
They've removed the age statement off of Eagle Rare now. Oh. And I think pound for pound for the cost, Eagle Rare is pretty high up on the list of bang for buck purchases.
This is such light, perfumey fruit.
Compared to the other two bourbons on this list, this is the most fruity bourbon we've tried so far.
And I'll talk about what I'm not getting. I'm not getting that classic brown sugar molasses, cherry, some apple.
I agree.
This is almost, man, if there was like a bourbon spectrum and then a Speyside spectrum, this would be really kind of trying to claw its way into that Scotch Speyside spectrum with
Which is bizarre,
with those fruit notes there.
But the taste is way more classic bourbon.
Oh, and that's when the oak shows up. The oak and then the honey.
That's just a great whiskey.
The honey right on top of that oak with a little bit of apple shows up on the taste there. It's lovely. Okay, in the world, Daniel. Royal Stag.
Also from India?
Also from India.
Yeah.
Royal Stag. Right, in the tribe. Ardbeg 10.
Well, shit, man.
What most recent purchase in a snapshot in time, what people are spending money on?
You're not joking. This list of 10 is disproportionately geared toward, of the Scotch choices.
Right.
Smoky Scotch.
Oh, yeah. The various, Isla cults and what have you.
Yeah.
They have battalions.
Oh, man. It's a different kind of smoke than Laphroaig or Lagavulin. It's more of a rich, deep-noted, mid-range.
Yeah, mid-range.
Wooded, campy, rounded.
It's less aggressive for sure.
For a 10 and for that price point, wonderfully balanced and classic.
At number 3 in the world, most popular whiskey according to dollars being spent, Imperial Blue.
Let me see that. It really is Imperial with a K, blue.
Imperial Blue. Yeah, no, that's not Imperial Blue. There's no such thing as Imperial Blue. It's a typo in the list. Imperial Blue. I wonder who was in charge of the list. Okay. Now in the tribe, coming in number 2, Daniel. Number 2, Jameson Caskmates Stout.
Well, I guess if we're going for most commonly purchased as just an easy drinker, it's going to be hard to beat this.
No, you gotta keep in mind, the bottles that people are going to be reaching for. The really high dollar ones, even though you may love them more, you're probably going to be reaching for those less because, damn, it's a lot of money.
Well, and you're also going through these faster.
The stuff that you really like, you don't adore it as much as your favorite whiskey of all time that's at $100 million damn dollars.
Right.
The stuff that you really like that's much cheaper, you're going to be grabbing that a lot more often.
Yep.
Yeah. Jameson Caskmates. Already we're in Irish whiskey territory. This is the land of the shortbread cookie. That's what you get on the whiskey.
The land of the shortbread cookies. Oh, I mean, really, but this one's way more chocolate cream.
Yeah, it's just that creamy element.
What?
They had barrels from
some brewery.
the brewery had stout beer in it.
Yes, okay. And then they
in the cask, in the wood
dumped
barrel.
it and then filled it with Jameson. It takes the budget line of Jameson and sort of gives it this big mid-range soft palate,
Which is nice for a budget Irish. In the world, Daniel.
In a world.
Indian whiskey. McDowells.
So most people don't realize this, or maybe
It's a traditional Indian surname.
Why? It's McDowell's is a very famous Indian surname.
In the whiskey tribe. What is the most recent whiskey you purchased, you magnificent bastards? It is.
Oh, it's surprising.
Buffalo
Trace.
Is this surprising for you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I thought it was gonna be a Scotch.
The Buffalo Trace, love. Buffalo Trace is having a white hot moment right now.
It is. It is sort of catapulting to the top of everyone's hit list.
It still feels like this brand. Like, here's what it is. I like Buffalo Trace, but it's this whiskey where if you're wanting to get into this scene, and you open up the door, bam, it's the first thing you see. And it's the first thing that feels like this is what the real whiskey drinkers drink.
That and Henry McKinnon.
Henry McKinnon. All right.
I tell you, on the nose, I actually prefer Eagle Rare.
But that is a unicorn.
Yeah,
bourbon.
but this is way more classic, spicy bourbons.
Way more classic, but also really nicely balanced. It doesn't get carried away with any single one of these bourbon flavors there.
Yeah, they threw this one right down the middle of the home plate, just waiting for everybody to hit it out of the park. What was number one in the world for everybody else?
In the world. We actually have this one, Daniel.
Oh.
The number one whiskey, the most popular whiskey in the world according to whiskey being purchased. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Officer's Choice.
Oh, we do have that one.
Yes, we do.
We reviewed it actually at one point, I think.
Yeah, we'll put it's in
because someone sent it to us.
In the description, we'll do the review there. I'm getting some vanilla and caramel on
Officer's
my nose.
Choice Blue.
Vanilla and caramel on the nose there.
Now, they say this is just grain spirit whiskey.
Light and sweet.
It's a blend of Indian grain whiskey and Scottish malt whiskey. It's like a watery, slightly ashy, with a little bit of butterscotch.
You say ashy?
Yeah, it's a little ashy.
I say the vanilla and the caramel. I could be convinced that the caramel is more of a butterscotch. I could be convinced.
All right.
I don't get the ash. It is thin, but it's really easy. Man, so here's the thing. 7 out of 10 of the most popular whiskeys in the world according to stuff being sold.
Yes, according to bottles being sold.
India is where it's at, man.
Yeah, it really is.
Who knew? Well, I guess I knew. I always
and
forget
in
that.
all the
Always
budget
forget.
lines.
Now, we are in Ireland right now.
Probably driving a car on the left side of the road as we speak.
Trying to. Thank you, magnificent bastards, for helping carry this episode, and then the next one is going to be some type of top whatever the hell. It's also Ireland related. Do we have enough time for shenanigans?
Probably not, man.
In honor of our Irish adventure,
Yeah.
I've worn a green shirt,
Oh.
and I'm going to drape you in Irish glory.
What? No, no, no! No! God!